I saved the whole sect by playing badly. Chapter 24 Senior Brothers. Lo and behold. The way back to the Zongmen was not peaceful, because Yi Qiao had just established the foundation and was not very proficient in Yujian. She fell down a few times on the way and was covered in dust. She patted her clothes and stood up, continuing to try. Under Mu Chongshi's guidance over and over again, Yi Qiao barely managed to keep her balance, at least she wouldn't topple over. Junior sister, do you know those personal heirs of Yue Qingzong? After hesitating again and again, Zhu Yu still asked softly. At that time, Yun Qiu was talking to the second senior sister, and it didn't seem like he had misunderstood someone. Yes, Yi Qiao's expression was normal, but she felt that there was nothing she couldn't say. I'm an orphan. I was picked up by the suzerain of the Yuqing sect since I was a child, and I was an inner disciple there for several years. After a pause, she shrugged her shoulders and smiled. Later, my talent was so poor that dogs thought I was useless, and the herbs I picked so hard were taken away by my master and given to that little junior sister who was newly acquired by Yue Qingzong. I went down the mountain in a fit of anger. What Zhu Yu heard was somewhat unpleasant. The few of them have been the pride of heaven since they were young. Although their parents are strict, they're also very good to them on weekdays. How old is the junior sister? At the age of 15, it's nothing more than not being valued by Yue Qingzong, and the herbs he worked so hard to get were taken away. Yi Qiao said it lightly, but it's not hard to see the sadness inside. Zhu Yu secretly made up his mind that he would make more alchemy in the future and work hard to feed his junior sister. Yu Qingzong couldn't take care of him well, so they came to take care of them. Mingxuan also comforted her a little uncomfortable. In the future, if they dare to bully you again, I will report my name. After hesitating for a few seconds, he changed his words again. Forget it, you can report the name of the senior brother, he is more powerful. Yes, yes, yes. Mu Chongshi was afraid that she would be sad because of this, so he rubbed his hands secretly. Yu Qingzong's inner dog is not a good one. It would be great to come to our Changmingzong to be a personal biography, and when the competition comes, I will definitely blind them dog eyes. The three senior brothers chatted all the way to comfort her wounded heart. Yi Qiao laughed out loud, her heart warmed. Ellipsis. After returning to the Changming sect, he briefly reported the experience to Qin Fanfan. When he learned that Yi Qiao had established the foundation, the sect master, who had almost fallen asleep, jumped up. Foundation established. He patted Yi Qiao's shoulder hard, and let out a gratified laugh. Ha 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 ha, I just said that you girl can do it. He had completely forgotten that the purpose of driving these personal disciples down the mountain was to keep the sect clean for a few days. Elder Zhao coughed lightly twice, and was shocked by the news. Yi Qiao. That girl who often does not do her job properly and likes to do some crooked ways. How many days did it take to break through the foundation? Elder Zhao looked at Zhu Yu, who was the most stable of the four. Zhu Yu stretched out a finger. Elder Zhao, 10 days. Zhu Yu, 1 day. He pondered for a moment. To be precise, it took less than a day for my junior sister to break through. This time, not only Elder Zhao was silenced, but also Qin Fanfan. Qin Fanfan controlled the twitching expression, building a foundation in 1 day. The two looked at each other, and at the same time realized the problem. Elder Zhao looked solemn. You guys go out first, I have something to talk to the suzerain. Yi Qiao nodded her head irresponsibly, just as she also wanted to go back to the yard to rest. After the few people left the hall completely, Qin Fanfan jumped up nervously. Building a foundation 1 day, old Zhao. These little bastards didn't scare me, did they? Can their Changming sect still be a disciple of foundation establishment 1 day? Is this reasonable? Elder Zhao frowned. Zhu Yu, can't you rest assured? It's no good for that child to lie. I just can't figure it out. Is this girl really just a middle-grade spiritual root? Her absorption of spiritual energy is not slow, and sometimes even feels faster than her senior brothers. How is it possible? Chin Fanfan was the first to deny it flatly. Her senior brothers are all top-quality single-spirit roots. That's why I think she's weird. Elder Zhao put his hands behind his back, puzzled. Logically speaking, there shouldn't be any problems with the test stone, but Yi Qiao's talent is absolutely impossible to be so low. At least it's a top grade. Chin Fanfan waved his hand. That's all. When I go to the swordsmanship sect to participate in the big competition, let Yi Qiao go to the swordsmanship sect sword cave for a test. It is absolutely impossible for the test stone there to make mistakes again. In the few days after returning to Changmingzong, Zhu Shi was exhausted after going out to practice, and no one had time to be a monster, which made the elders of the inner sect feel very relieved. In fact, the main reason for the calm was that Yi Qiao had locked herself in her room for the past few days, and would go to Zhu Yu from time to time to ask him for some materials. She is researching something and wants to try to see if she can succeed. Yi Qiao struggled for more than 10 days by herself, flipping through a large number of classics in Zhangshu and finally collected what she wanted. On the flat ground of the back mountain, things are constantly being added to it. Little junior sister. At this moment, Mu Chongxi rushed in. The elder of Changfeng sect has come to our sect. Master told us to be quiet today and not cause trouble for him. Yi Qiao didn't even move her brows. She said in a daze, Cheng Fengong. Is that the monster sect you mentioned? Mu Chongxi nodded solemnly. That's right. What are their elders doing here? Yi Qiao didn't understand. Mu Chongxi sat down casually. Isn't there only half a year left before the grand competition? Shouldn't the sects come to check the strength of the direct disciples? Everyone wants to get a good ranking, know yourself and your enemy, and win every battle. Hey! Mu Chongxi moved his head closer, looked at the contents of Yi Qiao's pot, and put a question mark on the top of his head. What is this thing? Why does it taste so strange? Yi Qiao pushed him away. I'm making something. What's that? Yi Qiao's face was deep. It's called a bomb. Mu Chongxi was dumbfounded. I always feel that when the junior sister is tinkering with these weird things, he can only stand aside and act like a fool. Then when will you be able to do it well? He said. Later, Master will bring the elders of Changfeng sect to visit our sect. It would be bad if something went wrong. And also, Mu Chongxi swallowed her saliva, looked at the contents of Yi Qiao's pot, and always felt that this thing, it didn't look like something a normal person would make. Is the bomb the latest magic weapon? Yi Qiao hummed indifferently. Don't worry, this is just a little thing. It took her a long time to search through the various classics to find stones similar to gunpowder, and other materials that could be replaced. Combined with modern knowledge, she must be foolproof. Fourth senior brother. Yi Qiao smiled cutely and said in a clear voice, just watch. Seeing her smiling like this, Mu Chongxi felt a little hairy. I don't know why, every time he is with his junior sister, he has a bad feeling. Yi Qiao sat on the floor with her head down and tinkered for about half an hour, and finally she was done. She patted her dusty sleeves, stood up from the ground, and breathed a sigh of relief. Fourth senior brother. Look at it. She yelled, thunderstorm. Then he threw the bomb in his hand not far away. Chevron